Hey guys, SuperCoach God here, and this is a new segment called Talking Pods. So we're going to be looking at a few pods, talking about if they're worth getting in or not, and just going through a few stats to show whether they are worth bringing in or not. Just quickly, if you haven't subscribed, check the sub button. I think like 20% of you that watch these videos are actually subbed, so yeah, get that counter up because we just hit 300. So thanks everyone who subbed and keep it up. Get to 400 now. Get it. All right. Anyway, first off, we got in the back line. These are about from like 560k downwards. We got Jake Lloyd. So 7% owned. So not necessarily a massive pod, but there's a few talking points here. He's 536k. He's got 123 break even. And he's has an average of 102. Now, if we just... Sorry if this video is a bit long as well, by the way. Just happened to write down a lot of pods I wanted to look at. So, we look here. His 3-round average is 100. So, not great. But he had that poor score of 77. But apart from that, his lowest score is 93. And the rest are tons. So if you want a really consistent player who's just going to give you a ton or just under every week or just above, then Jake Lloyd is the perfect pick. It's also going to differentiate you from the rest of the comp. He probably has that upside of like a 110 average, but I don't think we'll see it this year. I think it'll be more 105-ish. But yeah, that's still a good pick for 535k, I think. So next we have Sam Doherty. So I would advise this is a very risky pick. 509k, 114 break even, and an 89 average. Now, his 3-round average is 88, so not much different. But he did have a couple games off and he's come back with the 106. Mind you, it is against West Coast. Like, you look at this, 108, 106 are his only tons, and the rest are all 71, 87, 73. So pretty average scores. I will not be going near this pick, but if you see the upside and you think you can go around that 105 at 509k, he's a very good price. And he's still got that 114 break even, so you can wait a week and see a few more stats if you want to get him next week. But yeah, he actually looks. I probably wouldn't go near him, but he's one to watch. Now, Adam Sard. Sorry. Oh my god, I apologize, mate. I need to sneeze. So Adam Sard, 557k. 137 break even and an average of 107. So if we have a look, he got subbed out last game, probably just to manage him. He's got the 137 break even, so you can definitely wait a week. And he's got a 3-round average of 95, which doesn't look great, but that was the injury game, and that was when he was subbed. His other games, he's been going a ton or well above. I think he can average actually 110 for the rest of the season. But if you want to risk that injury, it's whether you want to risk that injury or not. I think he's a very good pick, and I think he can be one that can just boost your side, because that is a point of difference player. It's to boost your side and differentiate yourself to the rest of the comp. Next we have Nick Haynes. So this is a really interesting pick. He's 456k with a 52 break even and a 94 average. A 3-round average of 91. Now, he has his ceiling games where he gets heaps of intercept marks, and then he has his little flaws. And this is probably the one that would look really unattracting to you. But apart from that, if he went like what's his score? An 85, his average would be much better. Much better. Probably a 97, 98. So, I don't know, just one to look out for. he is at a nice price, and he has a 52 break even. So I think if you want to get him, you have to get him now. But yeah, I mean, he looks like a good pick. No reason not to get him. In my eyes. So yeah. Next, we got Daniel Rioli. This is the last of the defenders. So he's 4% owned. He's 500k with a 114 break even and 95 average. So his 3-round average, although, is 90. Now, with that 114 break even, he's going to be dropping off. And I think Short taking over has ruined his scoring a bit. Now he might actually... What percent owned is Short? Is Short above 560k? Yeah, I wouldn't go near Short then. But yeah, with Short in the back line now as well, wouldn't go near him. But yeah. If I had to rank those 5, by the way, I'm going to do a top 3 for each one. I go 1, Adam Sard, 2, Jake Lloyd, and 3, Nick Haynes. So yeah, Doherty and Rioli just miss out there. So let's go into the midfielders. Now, I've got about 10 names written down here, so we'll try to get through them as quick as possible. Once again, it's going to be a bit of a long video. But yeah, so first off, we actually have Jordan De Goey. Now, I know he's 14% owned, so he's not that much of a pod, but I really want to speak on him because I haven't spoken about him much on my channel yet. He's 527k. He's got a 118 break even with a 104 average, 3-round average of 97, but that is because of his latest score. Apart from his latest score, what's this? His loss was a... are we going to get it? Are we going to get it? Oh my. 84. So I think there's a lot of upside in this pick. He's getting well above hundreds in his other games. And I don't know, this 67 was just an outlier. He got a bit unlucky. He still had like 25 touches. Probably just not as many contested. But yeah, I still think he is a good pick. And with that 118 break even, hopefully just goes 110. Goes a bit more down in cash. And then it'll go down even more next week. So, I don't know, he's just one to watch out for. And I think he could be a really good pick that could boost your side and differentiate yourself. Next, we got Andrew Brayshaw. So, he is 509k with a 104 break even and a 91 average. A 3-round average, though, of 88. Now, this is a bit annoying. Now, I think Sarong has really just killed his scoring. But he's definitely able to go these 114s. And I think there's a potential for him to do it for the rest of the year. I probably wouldn't buy him now, rather at the buys. So I would steer clear of him now, but just wait for the buys. Once his buy is done, just maybe pick him up for a nice cheeky 520 price or around that. It could be really handy and just that cheap player that we all need that can still go that 110. Next I've got Chad Warner. So yeah, Chad Warner is one of those players that has massive ceilings in him, but he just doesn't get it often enough. Now he's got a 93 average with a 87 break even and a 93 break even with a 93 average. So his average is a break even and he's at 484k, 5% owned. So key things to look at this is the upcoming fixture, I think. So Collingwood last year at least, I don't know how well they're doing this year in terms of getting midfield scores against them. I know Dawson racked it up last week, but Freo, Leak, North Leak, Carlton not so much, Saints not so much, Brisbane not so much. So he's going to have a couple games here, maybe 3 or 4, where he's going to score big, I think. And I don't know, it could just be worth that 484k price. And then even after that, like you got West Coast, Richmond, another Freo game, Essendon kind of leak, GWS, Gold Coast, Adelaide. He's got a pretty good run home. Now, he does look tempting, but just remember he is going to get those scores around the 70 mark, and you're just going to hope that he can go 130 in those quiet games. So he's not a bad pick, but yeah, it's a tough one. Next, we got Mason Wood. So Mason Wood's 505k with an 87 break even at 105 average. 3-round average of 99.7, but he's not leaking any bad scores. And he could be back on the rise now after getting that 104. Has the 87 break even. Now, I actually like this pick. I'm going to probably rate this in the top 3, or maybe not, but I really like this pick, and I think it could be very well off. He's going to score you at least like a 90 plus every week, probably around the 100 mark, showing his stats, but he's got a very nice fixture as well coming up. North, Adelaide, GWS, Hawthorn. Then the Richmond game, then West Coast, Gold Coast, North again, Hawthorn again. He's just got, and Richmond again. So he's got a really nice fixture. Better than a lot of players that we're going to talk about. And yeah, looking at that, Saints are going to make finals. Now, another one. Callum Mills. So Callum Mills is at 534k with a 127 break even and a 97 average. Do not get him this week. You're definitely waiting 1 or 2 weeks for this pick, maybe at the buys. But Callum Mills has shown it before. He's shown that he can go big. He can go massive. I think, did he get a 200 score last year? He might have. Maybe the year before. But he's got the massive ceiling if he just gets the mid-minutes. I don't know if it's going to happen. So watch out for an injury or something in the midfield. You could see a Callum Mills going full-time mid. So it's just a watch. But yeah, you definitely don't go him in the next couple of weeks. Unless he goes massive. But yeah. Next we have Jack Steele. Now once again the perfect fixture pretty much. 537k, which is a bargain for Steele. 126 break even and 92 average. Now I'm waiting a week on Steele. I can't get him this week pretty much. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm getting him next week. Or you can't really get him the week after. I have to find a way to get him next week. I'm going to find a way and hopefully it works out. He's got 3-round average of 92. Now, if you look at his stats, he had a 90 and 96, 54, which was just appalling, and 126. Now, these first 2 games, he was probably a bit unlucky to score bigger, in my opinion. I was never going to start him. I had a set plan and I was never going to start him. So I was pretty lucky on that front. But I don't know. I'm really considering him now and I think I'm going to try and get him next week. You can either get him this week or next week because he is playing North. And if you look at his last 2, 128, 154. North they're pretty much as bad as they were. This could be absolutely massive. But yeah, that's Jack Steele. Good pick this week, I reckon. Next we have Darcy Parish. Now, Darcy Parish is 559k, 101 break even, and 106 average. So you probably want to get him this week. 3-round average of 109. So he's had a few good scores here. And I think it is a very nice pick. There is no reason not to go him. He will rack it up every week. Playing Port this week, so I don't know how he's going to score. But well, hopefully he replicates that if you buy him. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not the hottest Darcy Parish fan, to be honest, so I probably won't pick him. But if he's your kind of player, just that little oomph you need to boost your side, go for him. Now next, probably my favourite pick of the lot, Matt Rao. Now you're probably thinking, what? What are you talking about? Your best pick that you can possibly think of. That's a pod. Now hear me out. 51 break even, 97 average, 496k. 3% owned, mind you. Let's just have a look. A 3-round average of 114. 114. That is ridiculous. 124, a 108, and a 109. He's not even racking it up that much. He's getting 10 tackles a game the last 3 weeks. Can he keep doing it? I don't know, but now that Took's out of the side for a bit, he definitely could just do that little bit. I'm not picking him because I've got other plans. I'm playing catch-up footy at the moment, but I've got other plans. But Matt Rao could be the difference between number 1 and number 2. He could be the difference between you winning your comp or the other bloke winning your comp. I seriously believe that Matt Rao at 495k is an absolute bargain. And if you are 50k back, 50k rank, you should pick Matt Rao. He will. I could be terribly wrong here, and he could score this next week, but I'm very confident he will do really well. And he got a 119 round 1. Like, this bloke has 4 scores well above a ton out of 7 games. And I know these floors are not very good, 51, but he could absolutely rise the ranks, and there is not one reason why you shouldn't pick him. Next, we have Scott Pendlebury. So, Scott Pendlebury is 535k, averaging 107 and break even of 124. You do not get him this week. You might not even get him next week. But the week after, or at his bye, could be a really good option. Now, I'll tell you what, he got a 129 round 1, a 120 round 2, 102, 109, a 92, an 89. This bloke's floor is amazing. If you are in league, if you're playing league, Scott Pendlebury is the perfect pick. Because he's just consistent week to week, does not drop a bad game, and this 89 score could have been a 120. He went out early in the first. He was dominating, I thought, on Anzac Day, and could have won the medal if he kept playing and racked up another 10 touches. So, I don't know, just watch this space. Now, I've been hot on him all year. He's one of my favourite players, so I'm a Pies fan. He's probably my favourite player of all time, to be honest. But, yeah, just seeing him come back in the SuperCoach world is just really nice. And at 2.6%, he could really help you out. Next, we have Noah Anderson. Now, Noah Anderson at 556k, he's averaging 104 with an 84 break even. He's 1.8% owned. Now, a 3-round average of 114, just like Rao. But he's not as consistent as Rao, is he? He's probably more. He's only got the 3 tons. That's what I'm trying to say. And I know he's got that very high ceiling. But I see him being a good pick, but I don't know about that 556k price. He's got an A4 break even this week as well, so you probably want to get him this week if you want to get him. There's actually quite a lot of people that have traded him in. Now, even more than Rao, which I think's a bit crazy. Yeah, and alright, it's just he looks like the goods Noah Anderson at the moment. And I'm going to speak on one more player, Adam Chera. So 552k, 106 average, 37 break even. So he's coming off at 134. He's 1.5% owned. And the last few games, he's got a 3-round average of 128. He's gone 144 and 134 in the last two and 106. So pretty much since Sam Walsh is back, which is really interesting. So yeah, if you like the Chera pick, I'd go for it. If you're a Carlton fan, you just want a Carlton player in there, I'd go for it. And the same rule before, if you're 50k back in ranks, you might want to think of a pick like this. 1.5% owned. It's nuts. Anyone else we can talk about? Not really. Hugh McCluggage could rise. Ollie Wines. Yeah, not really anyone else. All right. Let's go. If I had to give a top three, at third, I'd go. Probably Scott Pendlebury, 2 John DeGoey, 3 Matt Rao. So I like those picks the most. And then let's go into the rucks. I've only got 3 players to talk about, really. So the first one's Max Gawn, 3.3% owned. Watch this space. If he comes back to his form that he had in that first game, what was it, a 140? This could really be big. He hasn't scored that one the last 2 games, and he obviously had that. What did he get this game? He just didn't get anything. He got a 0. Oh my god. So his average is 80 with a 0 in his system. Now, I think if it weren't let's have a look. He's a 106 average without this 0 in his system. So, yeah, he looks like a really good option. So 501k, 80 average, and a 108 break even. Watch this space, everybody. Watch this space. He could be an absolute bargain. So you can either get him this week or next week. You probably want another week of data. Even if he goes up 10k and gets a 130, don't be worried about it. Just pick him up next week because he's going to have a nice break even. But yeah, next we have Blixarves. So I'm not going near this pick. I think this is a silly pick, but it's a pod that people are actually talking about. So 2.6% owned, 508k, 90 average, 91 break even. He has taken over the ruck. And he has had a couple of good scores. But I don't like it at all because he's going to go back to his role at some point. And at this point in the game, you want to be picking keepers that you can have for the rest of the season. And do you think Mark Blixarves is going to be a pod that rises you up in the ranks? I don't think so. So I wouldn't go near him. Next we have Rob. Now I like Rob more than Blixarves. He's got a 103 break even. He's 467 with a 90 average. 3-round average of 79, which is a bit annoying. Probably deserved to score a lot more in this game. But yeah, he's only got the 2 tons, which is a bit sketchy. But I do like him more than Blixarves, and I think he will average more than Blicavs by season's end. So if you really are struggling for a ruckman, struggling for cash, you might have to go Riley O'Brien. And I know it sucks, but you might have to. So yeah, if I'll just put a number one. I'll rank those in order. So Gawn 1, Rob 2, Blicavs 3. So now the forwards. So this is a very long video. It's been 25 minutes now, but I think this is important for people that want to rise the ranks. I'm looking at a couple of these players, not many. But if you're considering some of these players, I just want to put it out there and show you different sides of the story, or encourage you to pick that player. So first we have Charlie Curnow at 6% owned. So not a massive pod, but 427k, 106 average, 25 break even. And he's coming off that 186, which is interesting. So average would not be near as much. He's got 4 ton scores, but his flaws are terrible. So this is not a league player. This is not a player you pick for a league. This is for overall. And hear me out. Obviously this week Harris Andrews bit tough. Next week though, oh my god, he's playing on the old man. Not the old man, but the old teammate in Liam Jones. This could be a really interesting battle. Now, I don't know, but yeah. And he always kills Collingwood. Do not be disrupted by these scores. He always kicks a bag against Collingwood. So, would I pick him? No, I don't pick key forwards. So, if you've been on my channel long enough, you'd know that I do not pick key forwards. I don't. I'm never going to, unless it's a rookie, and I probably never will pick a primo key forward. Next we got Zach Butters. So 534k, 96 average with a 115 break even, a 3-round average of 112. So this is a really good pick. Actually, that's an overstatement. It's not a really good pick. It's a nice pick that I think people would like. So his average 105 against... Look at his Essendon scores. This is bananas. It's a different Essendon team now, though. So I don't know how he's going to score. But even North, he's averaging around 101, 102. Melbourne, he does pretty bad. But yeah, he seems to score really well against the good team, the bad teams. I don't know. I'm not going near him because he cooked me a couple of years back. I traded him out to Rosie. It was last year, and he did well for me. But yeah, not going near Butters. Next, we got Big Mitchie Owens. So 6% owned as well. So these are pretty high percentages, but I just want to have a look at him. So 467k, 97 average, 62 break even. Someone brought it up in the live stream I was in with Centre Bounce the other day, and I was just having a look afterwards, and I was like, it's terrible. He's got 2 tons though, which is a bit what's the word? You're probably thinking of the word everyone's probably thinking of the word, but I can't think of it. Discouraging. It's discouraging. So 91, 114, and an 84. So a 96 3-round average. He's still got money to make, probably another 50 odd K. So I don't know if you want to go him, you can, but is he worth 467 when he probably is going to get managed? No, he is not. He will most likely get managed at some point, or younger body could get injured. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, if you really have the faith, you can pick him. And for all those people that started him, congratulations, you've killed it. This bloke has not let you down one iota. 97 average, mate. He's nearly a premium. So, yeah, I mean, good pick if you started him. But no, do not go him now. Toby Green. So Toby Green is 5.6% owned, 95 average, got a 114 winning goal, blah, blah, blah. 63 break even. The notorious flog. So let's have a look. 300 average of 112. So that is good. And when GWS start playing better footy, Toby Green starts playing better footy. It's just a fact. Or maybe Toby Green's just playing better and I don't know, but he's a forward, so it's probably the other way around. And yeah, I mean, he's looking really good, and I'm not gonna pick him because I picked him once before when I was really shit, but maybe 4 years ago, and he just absolutely cooked me. I saw the low break even. I was like, yeah, give me the money. Yeah, he did shit house. So don't go. I'm not going to go near him. But if you think he can keep up a 100 odd average, I'd go for him. If I thought that, but I don't. But if you think that, you can. But I will not be going near him. Next, we have Dylan Moore coming off a 61 with a 91 average, 140 break even, and at 488k. You can get this guy really, really cheap. He's got the 77 3-round average, which is pretty bad. But look at this. He gets scores 109, 131, and he gets your little booty scores. So he's not a what's it called? He's not a league player. He's an overall player. He's a rankings player. And I think he could be a really good pod that could just increase your team that little bit. It's a really good point of difference. But you wait a week, you wait 2 weeks, really, and just see what he goes down to. If he goes down to about the 400k mark, he could be a really good pickup. Who else do we have? And it could allow you to get someone like an English, a Clary, a Laird, because he's that cheap. Dacos, even if you don't have him, whoever doesn't have him, weird blokes. But yeah. Next we have Caleb Daniel. He's got defender forward status. It's really interesting. 470k, 91 average, 63 break even. Ooh, not bad. So I actually like this pick. Do I think he'll be top 6? No, I don't. Do I think he has potential? Yes, I do. Because you know what he does to Bevo in the locker room? Yeah, you know. You're thinking it as well, I can tell. You know exactly what he does to Bevo in the locker room. But yeah, I mean, he's actually an alright pick. I wouldn't discourage anyone from going against it. But he does have these. He has about 4 scores of 88 and below, but they're not even terrible scores. Like they're 77 at the lowest. I don't know. He's an interesting pick. Now, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't discourage anyone for not picking him. You can pick him if you want. Now, this one, if I haven't said interesting enough, this one is very interesting. Bailey Smith, 497k, 112 break even with an 87 average. He has dropped a couple of howlers. He was out for a couple of weeks. I can't remember why. Probably an injury or concussion or something. Not concussion, would have been injury, but he came back with a 103. And he's only got another score of a 102, and he's got these little average scores. But he could be a real pod at 1.5% owned, and I really like it. I am actually considering it, stupidly enough. I like it. I don't see why anyone else wouldn't like it. And I think he could just do a little madness for us. You never know. Next 3 weeks, kick a couple of goals, get about 25 touches, get about 120 SuperCoach in a couple of games, and he could really, really start to rise in rank, and it could look very, very good. But yeah, that's Bailey Smith. I wouldn't discourage anyone. Next, now, we have to talk about this bloke because he was a pod last year, and then he was no longer a pod, and he just kept rising, and I didn't pick him because I was an idiot. Harry Himmelberg, 68 average, don't let this discourage you, 411k, 47 break even. Now let's just have a look. 3-round average of 92, so not great, but he is 4'11", remember. Playing more backline because Sam Taylor is out. Now, last 3 games, if I can get it up, 89, 100, 88. These are actually pretty good scores. But yeah, look at these first 4 games. That's forward line data. And this one's also forward line, but he had a good game. These are backline data. I don't know. Just have a look. If you want him, you want him. But once again, would discourage you. I would not discourage you. I think he's actually a good pick. Because Sam Taylor's out for like 10 weeks still. So, I mean, you can go for it. So that's... I'll give you a top 3 there. Number 3... Oh, I hate doing this. Toby Green. No, Harry Himmelberg's number 3. Number 2, Big Bailey Smith. Number 1 is Dylan Moore in a couple of weeks. But yeah, that's the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I'm doing a bit of a different video. And this is the team at the moment. Because I showed my team every video for some reason. I don't know why. And why the hell is Zeeble injured? No. Hold on. Oh, it's just subject for fitness test. Relax. Everyone relax. Okay. I nearly cracked the absolute Eisens. Because we are running very low on trades and I cannot afford this. So, anyway, that's the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Cheers.